Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Black Sheep Podcast, a podcast about being different in a world that wants you to conform.
I'm Tay Renee.
And I'm Madison Griggs.
Welcome. This is episode 2 of our podcast. If you have not watched our first episode, please go back and watch it. It was just an introductory episode to who we are, our meanings, or our definitions of black sheep, or what it means to be the black sheep, and how we are the black sheep in our families or in society. But today we want to talk about being the black sheep kind of abroad and what those differences are.
So we are now located in Sweden. If you had listened to our last podcast, we're Black Americans in Sweden.
Yeah.
There are no Black people here. There are melanated people, but there aren't any Black people, Black American people here.
And that is a difference between being a colored or melanated person and being a Black person.
Yeah.
And it comes from where we came from.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're from the United States, and we're different people of color than the people of color who are here or from here or migrated here, because most of the people of color are melanated people, or I could say Black people that kind of look like us, but they don't kind of look like us because they're from African descent.
Yeah.
Directly, like their parents are African.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think it is important for us to kind of compare to their lineage, or do you think we should solely stick to our American roots, or do you think being African American is the African part way just too far gone?
Oh, good question. Me personally, and this might be a hot take for a lot of people, but me personally, I do not feel connected to Africanness.
Yeah.
Besides the color of my skin.
Right.
I was born and raised in Southern America. My family was born and raised in Southern America. Like my parents, their parents were born and raised in Southern America.
Like Beyonce said, my family lived and died in America. Good old USA.
Sorry for the voice, y'all. My throat's a little scratchy. It's the winter here. But yes, family truly lived and died in America.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm most positive that almost every single Black American can trace their lineage back to our motherland or Africa in some way.
Yeah.
But I personally don't think I personally just don't associate with the Africanness as much as I associate with being a Black American.
Yeah.
To the point where I feel like now being a Black American is its own ethnicity now.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
You know, we have no kind of African culture. We have none. It does not exist in America unless you're truly African.
Yeah, unless your parents are.
Yeah. We're truly American people. You know, I've never even been to Africa. My parents, my grandparents, it has been, I bet it's been centuries.
Yeah, it has.
And honestly, we don't even know if that is our motherland. We don't know. That's what people told us about our history.
For those who are listening, not watching, Madison pointed to the
palm, the light side of my hand.
Yes.
Those people is the one that fed us our history. So we honestly, truly, Black Americans most of us don't know where we come from. And that's what makes us a part of the Black sheep, honestly, too. Yeah. You know, not knowing, and we can create whatever we want to. Like you said, our own ethnicity now.
Right. Because what I'm learning being over here in Europe is that your nationality versus your ethnicity is truly two different things.
Right.
When we're in the States and you're filling out the forms nationality, it's always American. Where are you from or where are you born? That's America. But then it asks your ethnicity, and for ours, it says Black or African American.
Yeah.
For white people, it says white or Caucasian. Even some white people are Americans.
Yeah.
Like they could trace their history back to Europe, but some of them, everybody was scattered everywhere. I feel like all types of people were scattered everywhere.
I definitely think it was melanated people in America before you know Christopher Columbus went to America.
He didn't even do it, girl. He was somewhere in Asia, and they said that was America.
You know, so I think we are truly, that is our native land, honestly.
Yeah.
We would never know, but I have a feeling, my spirit tells me like, I'm not African.
Yes.
You know,
I definitely agree. I don't feel African.
Yeah.
I don't have any of African customs. Most of my customs are American customs, which were adapted and changed throughout history from English or European culture and from African culture, if that makes sense. As Black people, we probably have some inherent touch to our Africanness, like wearing braids, you know, like having locks.
But even with the locks, Africans here don't have locks.
Yeah, but African people don't have, but there's certain types of Africans.
Yeah, right,
you
right.
know? Well, I was just thinking like Bob Marley, but he's not African.
He's Jamaican, right?
They're Jamaican. They're islanders.
Yeah.
You know,
they're not African.
They're not African.
Yeah.
You know, they're
Caribbean?
Caribbean? Or,
maybe, Caribbean, I think.
I'm not a geologist.
Right,
don't quote
we don't
me.
have any degrees in none of that shit.
Hey, we're going based off of the knowledge that we did get from school. And, but yes, they're not even African. So us walking around with locks is completely different things. Like even when we were in the Dominican Republic. Yeah. There are some people in the Dominican Republic that look like me and Madison, or look like people that we know from America. Black people.
They do look like Black people.
Not people who are, oh, they must got something in them. Like how we say in America, like, oh, you mixed with something. No, there's some people that truly look like Black people there, but they're not Black. And they know that we are from America because they're like, these girls got locks in their hair. Yeah. Even if we could have, sometimes we could pass to some people, we still have an Americanness in our face, like, and then how we dress, how we act, in our hair. And as Black people in the States, we crown our hair so much as it's like it's a connection to our heritage, but it's really, I feel like it's just a connection to me, I guess, not necessarily to my Africanness.
Yeah. We don't do it solely for the Africanness. Like, like back to the Dominican part. We were there and we was like, man, he looks like he can have a little Blackness in him. Yeah. You know, but the culture is just completely different. Like so many people can look like you, feel like you, but if we were not raised similar in maybe the similar places, it will not be nowhere near the same. Yes. You know, the connection will never be there. The understanding will most likely never be there. It's definitely the understanding.
The understanding is a huge part.
We hung out with one of my friends, one of my teammates' friends, a group of her friends, and they were all African. And we were like, you know, we're not African. We're from America, and we're Black people from America. We're not African. We did not come from Africa. Our parents did not come from Africa. And they were totally like flabbergasted.
Yeah, like taken aback, like, wait, what do you mean you're not African?
Yeah.
And I also want to say this though real quick. We're saying African, but we know that Africa is an entire continent.
Right.
These people are from the Congo, from Morocco, from Nigeria. They're different types of Africans. So but we're just saying it in general. They come from that continent, and I don't want to be insensitive to say like, oh, y'all just African.
Right,
they identify as Nigerian. Or Congolese.
And it's mostly the culture part.
Yeah.
It's mostly, you know, the culture of having African parents, siblings, all that kind of stuff.
And they have their own like African traditions. I remember my freshman year in college, my roommate Laura, her family, her parents were from Nigeria. I think her oldest brother was born in Nigeria. Now she is Nigerian based on her ethnicity,
Right.
but she is an American because she was born and raised in America, and she has adapted to an American Black woman, but she still has her African roots in her because, of course, her parents are African, so they celebrate like weddings in a different way than we do weddings.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
their holidays are different. Yes, they do the traditional American holidays, but they have their own holidays as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just the culture difference, and I'm starting to think like, what is our culture as Black Americans?
What is our culture?
Cookouts.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the first thing that came to mind
Cookouts.
just now was we have a cookout for anything.
Yeah, we love to family gather.
Yes. And that could be a part of our Africanness from, that's just inherent or inherited in us. But cookouts is the first thing that came to my mind. What's something else?
So some Black traditions. What are some? Yeah, that's a big one. I think that's a pretty big one.
It's the culture thing. Like, what is Black culture?
Yeah.
Like, hip hop is Black culture.
That is definitely Black culture.
R&B and soul is Black culture.
I think the way we dress and express ourselves is Black culture. And I feel like Black people, or specifically American people, we express ourselves in the most of us in an authentic way.
Yeah.
We really don't care. I know going to Atlanta, we see so many different Black people, and it's so beautiful to see.
Yeah.
I just love seeing all these different dressed Black people. They have all different kinds of hair, dressed any kind of way, like truly.
Tattoos everywhere, piercings everywhere, you might have the gothic girls and then the gothic guys, the gays, the flamboyant ones, mass presenting. Same with the women. Like you just have all like an array of creativeness, and even within what society makes us deem as bad, like with the hood people or ghetto. I hate like saying that, but sometimes they are.
I mean, it's true. Like that's our culture.
That's our culture, but they are
being
truly being themselves, though.
Yeah, I mean, but I think being hood and ghetto comes from the way you was raised.
Yeah.
It comes from. It might not be authentically who people are.
Okay.
But the way people were raised, that's the only thing that they know. Because and I see so many, especially boys, on my social media. I know I'd seen them when they were younger, and then growing up, they're like two totally different people because they became a product of their environment. When they could have been this person that chased something that they really wanted to chase instead of being and started to create something that they just grew up in. And that's kind of unfortunate for a lot of people, but I think that it is what it is. So I don't know if being hood or ghetto can be authentically someone. It can be, but I think that is created.
Okay, I can understand that, and that's where, let me take it back to us saying the understanding is what makes it so hard being a Black person in another country, because when we hung out with your teammates' friends and her, they don't understand. They can't understand the pain of a Black person, the struggle of being a Black person, how we were raised as a Black person
in America.
And I hope that y'all are understanding when I'm saying a Black person. Because they don't call themselves Black here.
I know one person who does. They kind of do, but
yes,
it's because there's so many white people here that they do call themselves Black, but our Black and their Black is a different kind of black.
Yeah.
So that's what we getting at. But go ahead.
That's the Black American.
Yeah, right.
But they can say I'm from here.
Yeah.
But we say, okay, I'm from America.
Right.
Being Black American being a Black person from anywhere in Europe or anywhere outside the United States, and you didn't grow up in the United States as a Black person or as a person of color, you're not going to be able to understand us, and that's where we stick out as Black sheep, because our understanding of life, our perspective of life,
It's
totally different from how they view life and their perspective. Not saying one is right, one is wrong. You know, none of that. We're not trying to put right and wrong or good or bad on anything. It's just the perspective.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that. Whereas if I'm in the United States, even though I'm from the South, I can go out to the Midwest and talk to a Black person.
True. And they will understand.
And they can understand,
Yeah.
you know, and of course, again, things about how you were raised. If a Black person was raised in a white community, only surrounded by white people, they have a different perspective on the world. But so they might not be able to relate to me, being a Black person that grew up around. Well, I really was in a mixed environment.
Yeah, same.
My family is all Black, but I went to schools. I did gymnastics, where it's mostly a white sport. So I grew up kind of in a mixed array of people, but they in the majority in the United States, I can go anywhere, see a Black person, and we could be like,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like we know the Blackisms, like we make faces, look at each other like. There's a Instagram page called Embracing Black Culture, one of my favorite Instagram pages, because it's nothing but positivity surrounding Black people. It only posts the good things that we do and how creative we are and how loving we are and how funny we are as Black people. And we are truly just different.
Yeah, we are.
We have a different sense of humor. And our humor comes from our struggle that people can't understand. Other people don't understand.
That is so true. Like, unfortunately, we've had a lot of rape culture in our community. We had domestic violence, just a lot of toxic traits in our community. And, you know, I was talking to one of my teammates and I was like, I think I was talking about Jason Tatum's mom or something.
Oh. Woo.
Yeah. And,
okay, we can go there, Jason. We can go there.
And basically, you know, how Jason's mom is in love with him. You know,
this is very common amongst I don't
in
know,
America.
You know, we don't know. I didn't grow up in a white household. White people tap in right now, and y'all let us know, like, is this something in the white community as well? But it's not just mama's boys. It's an obsession that's a lot of. I've seen a lot of examples of Black mothers who are in love, like they don't want their sons
with anybody. And, you know, it makes me question, like, damn, are we really fucked up in the head? Because parents, you know, are so involved with their kids here that it's like, damn, is that actually normal?
Oh, true.
You know,
I see what you mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
or do we just look at it like that because we were raised off of this toxic shit that we were raised in? You know what I mean?
Good point. Is it true? We look at it like it's kind of weird.
Right, it's kind of weird, but could it be normal to love your child and be protective and careful with your child like that, you know? Because here, I mean, not here, but in America, we're used to parents really not caring about their children, abandoning their children, you know, being violent to the children. So when we see a mother being very motherly to their kid, even though he's 30-something, late 20s, 30 years old, we think of it like, when Swedish people like, I mean, that's his mom.
That's true. That is so true. Because I definitely, it's just so, you know, it'd be a little weird to me.
Yeah.
When his mom is so, I'm like, that's a grown man now.
Right, let him.
Maybe because he's a grown man now. Now, if he was, you know, still 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, like this man has his own child now. And he's a grown adult. And it just seems like she's still overly protective. Or overly like in his, and that's just us outside looking in. Once again, we are just, but I have seen it again in many cases. People that I grew or went to high school with.
Definitely a personal case.
Yeah.
I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, like the moms don't want their sons to love any other woman more than he loves,
Yeah.
her. And that is a part of Black culture. 'Cause that big debate that's going around on, or it has its flashes. If you're with your girl, this is for the guys. If you're with your girl, and you and your mom and your girl are going out somewhere, who sits in the front seat?
Yeah. Who's in?
You, my mama getting in the back. I'm so sorry. Like,
right.
I love my mama.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's again, let me take it to religion. It's so y'all be so Christian like, but the Bible says once a man gets a woman, once your child gets married, that man should cleave to his wife.
Right.
You are no longer obligated to take care of him.
Yeah, exactly.
And he is not obligated to worship you. He is now the head of his house. He's supposed to lead his woman, and she should sit in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
She is now the queen. You are no longer you are no longer the queen. Cersei, you're no longer the queen.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of moms can't fathom to lose that position in someone's, especially in their son's life. I bet that's hard too.
Yeah.
Your son has always looked at you with these dreamy eyes. When you lose that, it can be hard and hurt. I know it can hurt. So, but still, girl, get a grip.
Good God, get a grip, girl.
And get over it.
G's, and get over it.
And get over it. Move on with your life. He's moving on with his.
Exactly. Like, you think of it as like you've done your job as a mom, and he's picked out a woman that
that he loves.
Even if you don't like him, he will figure it out for himself.
Right.
And or she, the girl, and once she finds, if you have just a daughter, she will find a man that.
Or a woman. Whoever they love.
Me.
Right.
Look at me.
Right.
Look at me.
Correct yourself.
Correct me. Please. Or a woman, yes, that will make her feel the best she's ever felt. Make her feel truly her authentic self. And I think that's a difference in being a Black person from America and being a Black person. That is another difference from being a Black person over in Europe or out of out of America, is that our minds are so closed to a lot of things as Black Americans. So it's hard for us to be open to new ideas. Yeah. But I think that came from a protective mechanism.
Yeah,
from slavery,
I think so
of
too.
course.
We're
trying to protect ourselves. You got to do things a certain way to make life a little bit easier. These are the things, this is just how the way life is. This is how easy your life's going to be if you just do it this way.
Yeah, when, we need to understand more that once you get out of those restricting beliefs, and just open up to whatever. Because, Black people are so, committed to trying to be as comfortable as possible.
That's our culture.
Yeah, that is definitely a part of our culture. Just trying to, I'm going to be here, I'm going to work here, and I'm going to just stay as comfortable as possible. I'm going to have this income coming in every month. Cool. But when are you going to get out and find something new? Do something new, and create something new for your kids. That's what I think about. Like, I can't be stagnant for my next generation, for the next generation. Yeah. Not just for my kids, but for every little kid that's to come, especially in the Black community. Yeah. We have to keep going for them.
We have to show them what being open to the world can do for you. Yeah. How many doors it can open for you.
Right.
And what's so crazy is that we've been so brainwashed, I guess, from the United States, because we are truly some of the most creative people on the planet.
We are.
But for some reason, we're not as open to this creativity.
Yeah. We create everything.
Everything that people emulate around the world comes from a lot of Black, American
and
culture.
Melanated people.
Or melanated people in general.
But mostly, I agree, a lot of Black Americans. That's because we know more about Black Americans.
True.
But I'm pretty sure a lot of more melanated people around the world create these great, huge ideas. And, but specifically Black Americans are closed off to that creative power that we just naturally have. you know, and I hate that, but we have to open up to get that and to create what, like we said in the last podcast, our new world.
Yeah.
You know, because we are the ones that are going to create it.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
I think so.
Especially
too.
for America. Sorry.
Especially for America. We
Yeah.
are going to be the ones to create a new America. For the people that's going to stay there, I'm going to be all over the world, so it really won't matter.
Right.
I mean, it does matter. Because like we just said, it for the people that's coming after us. But especially for them, creating a new world. So that way our babies and or other people's babies and their babies can grow up in a society that makes them feel welcome to be whoever,
Feel loved,
do whatever they want, to do. You know, we're talking about this like with me, that my parents told me that I can be and do whatever I want to do.
Right.
But there's always a stipulation. But you got to do this.
But it's a but to it.
But it's a but to this. Instead of just saying, yeah, you can do that.
Yep. That's it. Point blank period.
Point blank period. You can do it. I believe in you. You can do it. How you going to do it? Okay, good. Let me see how that works.
Right.
Instead of letting your child explore, fail, try again, recreate. But you, every time, you can still do it though.
Right.
I think that's the difference another difference in the Black culture, Black American culture. Especially, I want to say, being from the South.
Yeah.
The South is the South for, they have their problems because we were stuck in this slavery mindset for so long. People are still stuck in that mindset.
Yeah.
That, okay, you can go do that, but it ain't gonna make you no money. Oh, you can go and do that, but you're gonna struggle for a while till you see some type of success.
Or one big thing.
What?
Or that you need permission to do it.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need any permission to do anything that you want to do. Because if you truly want to do it, no permission will grant anything. You know? The only permission that I need is from myself and God.
Yeah, exactly.
No permission from man.
Yeah.
No, and that's in the old world to me. That's not going to be in the new world. There will be limitless possibilities for everyone. Everybody has an opportunity. Everybody can get whatever they need or want.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I said to you the other day that if we all had that mindset of parents telling us as kids, you can do whatever, you can be whatever, there would be so many Kanye Wests. But not Kanye West because he is a genius. Like he is an artist in his own right. There will not be, everybody's individual. Right. You're still going to be your individual self, but meaning strong, independent, self-confident people. Yeah. You know, that truly, this man said, I can go play in the NBA if I wanted to. Right now. And he's like, no, you can't. He's like, yes, I could if I wanted to, but I don't want to do that. Right. But, he was not joking. He truly, like, if he wanted to, he could go play in the NBA because he had a mom that instilled in him, Kanye, you can do whatever you want to do.
And one of the biggest musical genius artists in the world to this day. No matter how much crazy shit he even said, did. Kanye will be Kanye, and I will always respect Kanye because of just who he is and how he thinks and what he says. Even if it's wrong or fucked up, he says what he wants to say.
And that's the thing. We put that as somebody has to be right, somebody has to be wrong. Right. Someone has to be the hero and somebody has to be the villain. Right. Why can't we just understand that people are going to act and do and say whatever they want to do, act and say. Right. And we can leave them at that. Right. I feel like there's a difference between saying like, I don't like a certain color. Yeah. And going and killing somebody because they have that certain color on. Right. That's a difference. Yeah. There's a difference in that. But I can say, yeah, I don't like orange. Yeah. It's a disgusting color. Yeah. Ugh, I could puke at the color orange. Yeah. Hey, speaking that she has orange on, go ahead. Exactly. Because I don't have a problem with orange. I have a problem with colors. But I should be able to say that and people be like, I can agree to disagree and move on. And move on. Like, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of your world. Exactly. It's not the end of anything because somebody has an opinion about something, you know? Yeah. And this is why we're the black sheep, because we have these type of
Yeah,
conversations.
yeah.
Whereas if we were to try to have this conversation in a black household in the South, and I always speak specifically from my experience of being from the South, being around Southern people, all types of Southern people. I've lived in Louisiana, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina. It's going to turn into a debate. Somebody's got to be right.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to be wrong.
Yeah.
And it's not a copacetic,
Yeah.
agree to disagree.
Right.
We will never get to a point. Somebody's going to leave the conversation upset.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to leave the conversation like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
And it's like, pipe down.
Yeah, pipe down. Like,
I
calm
can
down.
have my opinion. You can have your opinion. And we can go on about our day.
Yeah, we've been reading a book called The Dark Feminine, Divine Feminine, and the Dark Feminine. We read it on Spotify. But it talks about how the how do you say it? The
patriarchal society.
The patriarchal
Patriarchal.
the patriarchal society has created all of these one side, two side disagreements, agreements.
Black, white. There's no gray, there's no gray area for anything.
Right,
You have to be on one side or the other.
Yeah.
And instead of being like, well, isn't there like a balance? Isn't there like a balance to this? But we tend to
choose one. We have to choose one, and that's that closeness. Open your mind up to where you can understand both sides, because there are many sides to many stories.
Yeah.
Just like the Bible, just like religion, there's many sides to religion, but it's all going back to the same thing. Once you actually interpret every part of it, you realize, like, damn, it's all saying damn near the same thing.
You're talking about across different religions.
Yeah,
yes.
Across different religions. It's all saying the same thing.
But in a different way.
And it's all based on belief. What do you believe in?
Yes. We were reading over the summer, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And it but the book talks about, it'll have a scripture from the Bible.
Right.
And then translate it into like how it's like more spiritual than if you believe in the actual people from the, you know what I mean? Like it uses analogies in different situations or circumstances to explain what the Bible verse is for.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is so clever to do as a writer.
Yeah.
To get the people who are so religious to start thinking more spiritually than just straight following the rules in the book.
Yeah.
And how it's still all connected to what the book is saying.
It is very,
That's that openness.
Yeah.
And that's why I love us. Like,
yeah.
Because we allow ourselves to think about other things without feeling like we're going to go to hell or
Judging ourselves.
That's
judging ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, we give ourselves grace, and we give other people grace for just being themselves.
Yeah, we really do.
You have to, especially in today's world. You have to give yourself grace first of all, and give other people grace. Because they probably don't know more than you do. I probably don't know more than she does. She doesn't know more than me.
We're all on our own journey.
We know our own things, and we're here to share what we know. Not here to judge what she knows. She's not here to judge me about what I know.
Yeah.
It's just the judgment. And that comes from religion again. You think somebody's always judging you. You think God is always judging you. I believe God never judges. He doesn't judge me, no matter what I do.
And I feel like sometimes you're looking like, girl, I don't know about that one.
Okay, well, you gonna do it.
You're gonna do it. What you gonna do? I mean, I try to tell you, I try to show you a little something, but that's not. I don't think that's necessarily judging.
No,
that's just like, girl, why my God got a little oomph in him?
Because it's not a man.
Exactly.
Your God is not a man. So
in them, because my God is not. I mean, and I should be able to say that, which I am saying it, but you should be able to hear that and not go, nope, cutting this podcast off because this is not right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Shirley Ann, it's okay if you don't want to hear it.
Yeah. It's not for you.
It's not for you. And that's what being the black sheep is about.
Yeah.
That certain things aren't going to be for some people.
And I don't want us to be politically correct.
Me neither. You
I know my P's are really patriarchal, politically. I don't want to be politically correct.
Politically. Oh, you're so cute. Politically. Yeah.
I don't want to be politically correct.
Me neither.
Like, for what?
For what? And honestly, the more and more I be watching some of the stuff about Donald Trump, I see why people mess with the man.
Like, he does not care. He doesn't care.
He don't care.
I'm honestly so tired of caring. You know.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like,
I'm tired of caring.
He don't care.
I'm tired of caring. Me personally.
Mm-hmm. And don't take it as she doesn't care about anything.
Right.
She's tired of caring about the specifics of what people say, because it doesn't. Who cares?
Yeah. At the end of the day, it does not matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's about, I feel like, more action based than your words.
Right.
And what are your actions saying?
What are your intentions? That's what matters, honestly. Not what you say, unless you continuously say it.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
But say what you feel. Say what's on your mind. Say what needs to be said. And I feel like that's why I want to do this podcast. I want to say what needs to be said.
Say it then.
I will say it when it needs to be said.
How do you continue to be a black sheep in a place where most people are the same?
Definitely have somebody to remind you who you are. Being here and where a lot of people are Swedish, which is level. Nobody's up here, nobody's down here. But, yeah, definitely you are here to remind me every day of who I am and where I'm from and what I do. You know what I mean? And I think that is very helpful, because if you were not here, I think I would just naturally
lose sight
and just conform. That's why I think it's so important to have someone with you from where you are, because they can keep you grounded, and also the self-work, the self-care and the self-work that you need to do every day to remind yourself who you are and why you are here, and not lose sight of anything of that. Because if you don't follow that or have something to believe in or stick to, you can easily conform in a place where people are the same. Yeah. So I think definitely having you here and continuing to do the self-work that I've always done to remind myself who I am.
Yeah. I definitely agree on that. Having someone is very helpful. If you are traveling solo or you live in somewhere solo.
Yeah.
I think another way you can remain the black sheep or to keep within who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Go look up things that remind you of who you are and see if that's around you.
Okay.
Like, if you're a very artsy person, look up places around where you're living that can make you feel fulfilled in that artsy form of yourself.
Right.
If that, you know what I'm saying? Like, finding things that remind you of home or who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Like, for me, that Embracing Black Culture Instagram page is something that I go to that at least once a day.
That is so true.
So that way I can see Black people.
Same.
See how Black people act. Or we go on YouTube and I like to watch, or recently we've been watching Doechii.
Yeah.
Like, it's Black.
It's so Black.
It's Black. And
we've been watching The Ballroom.
And we've been watching Ballroom.
It's so Black.
It's so Black.
And I'm so appreciative of it now.
Oh my gosh, love it so much. Like, watching things that remind you of who you are and what makes you different from the people around you. And being a Black American is what makes us different from people around the world. Ballroom was started in America. Yeah. Now they do it other places around the world now, but it was started in America by Black people. Yeah. Like, that is something that we watch to, like, remind us of of our blackness and how creative our blackness and how intense our blackness can be sometimes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like watching things that remind you of who you are consistently will help keep you reminded. Watching shows or movies that remind you of who you are.
Yeah, because being here can definitely make you forget.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not around your people all the time, and you're around different people, it can make you forget where you are from and who you are.
And how, like, powerful and special you are. Because we've gotten a few comments, especially Maddie has gotten a few comments about, oh, I would not want to be from America. I do not want to be, I don't want to be American. American. Like, oh, I know in America it's like this. And it's like, dang, like, yes, I told you that how I felt about America sometimes can be a little, and that's why I'm not there. But that don't give you the right to talk about my country like that, okay? You want to be me so bad. Like, you have to, I get like that because I can, like, how black people, like, I can call her a bitch. Yeah. But no man better not call me no bitch.
Yeah.
It's almost the same thing.
It's a different bitch, y'all. Yeah, and the ones who get it, get it.
And the ones who get it, get it, and the ones who don't, don't.
You get it.
Just like, as black people, we be saying, you know what I'm saying?
That's my nigga.
That's my nigga. That's my nigga.
You know?
Okay.
Nobody else can say
that. Nigga, please. You can't say that. I would feel weird if these African people started to say nigga please to me. Yeah. Because you just don't have that. It's not for you.
Right.
But we can say it. So I can talk about America. Because I live there, I'm from there. Just like they can talk about their home country because we like it. Yeah. I like Sweden. Yeah. I like it a lot.
It's really nice.
It's really nice. People are nice, but they have their feelings about Sweden. And I feel the same way about America. Don't come talk about my country because you don't really know it. You can't feel it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So don't talk.
It's still a respect at the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
Like, yes, people from Sweden have their, everybody does about their own country, like their pros and cons, whatever. Yes. But we're not going to be disrespectful to Sweden. Don't be disrespectful to America. They be disrespectful
to us. And you have to let that, if you are in a place where that happens a lot, you have to use that as fuel to just drive you more into being who you are and remembering where you come from.
And not feeling bad for acting the way you are from. Especially if you like that trait about yourself. I understand the hood ghetto part. You don't want to keep that. Okay, don't keep that part. But I like that I'm American, outgoing. I like to be on the camera. I like to talk. I like to laugh.
That I'm sassy.
Yeah, I like all that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to still continue to be that around people that are nowhere near like that. You know?
Yeah, I'm still a strong Black American woman, and you're going to feel that from me. I'm not going to change that. The way I coach my girls is how I would coach girls in the United States. Right. You know, like it's a Blackness to how I coach. You know, because they don't really. Okay, my last example. Last night, and one of my coaching my 10-year-old girls, one of them said, "Girl, bye," to me. Because this is a little different here. The kids talk to the adults like by their first name. It's kind of like whereas in the States we have a respect thing, Miss, Mr., Mrs., and then coach if you're a coach. And she was like, "Girl, bye," because I was trying to make her, she had to do push-ups because she did something she wasn't supposed to do. And I let it slide the first time. Then I told her, "No, now you got to run because who are you talking to?" And she's like, "Girl, bye." She did it again. And I said, "Girl, bye. Bye, girl. Get out. You're out of practice. Get out, girl. Bye. Bye." To a 10-year-old, I sure did. Because she thinks that we're friends. And that's this is that Black woman coming out of me. This is that Black woman.
She thinks that we're friends.
She thinks that we're friends. No, girl, you are 10. I hadn't been that in a while, okay? I have not been that age in a while, okay? So we're not on the same level, baby. We're not. And that came out of me. And I think the parents also seen, okay, this is not a person from Sweden.
Yeah, this is not a Swedish person.
This is not a Swedish person.
No.
Because even the coaches, like the men get loud, but the women coaches don't tend to get that loud. No. Bye. Girl, bye. I said, "Go home, call your mama." I said, "Call your mama, tell her to come get you." Bye. Went over there crying. I'm sorry. Not sorry. You know, I'm not going to change who I am to conform to this society,
Yeah.
especially if it's something that I'm driven about doing or, you know, wanting to make people better and all that stuff. So, yes, I think watching things, having somebody around you
Yeah.
are wonderful ways to remain being the black sheep in a place where everybody is the same.
Yeah. So yeah, that wraps up episode 2.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching the Black Sheep Podcast.
Or listening to all of our
The
listeners.
listeners too. Being different in a world that wants you to conform.
Yeah.
Being black in a white Swedish world. We love you, Swedes.
We love the Swedes.
And we love my black Americans too, baby. We
Yeah.
miss y'all.
We miss you.
We sure do.
Send us some love.
Yes.
In the P.O. box. Good job, baby.
Yep. Love you.
Love you too.
Out. Peace.